Good afternoon. Good afternoon, beautiful people. Welcome to another glimpse of growth with Dr. Dale. The music is too loud, you say? I know. I'm gonna get ready. I'm gonna turn it down a little bit so we can get our conversation going. Welcome to, what's today's date? Today is Wednesday. Today's Wednesday, August 6th, 2025. Welcome to August 6th. Yes, you guys. Yes. So our conversation today is through the lens of EQ. Everything is through the lens of EQ with me. We're talking about confident people keep promises to themselves first through the eyes of EQ. What does that look like? I guess we're gonna find out. So our conversation today, how did this conversation come up? I don't even know, you guys. I don't even know. All life happens, things happen, and one thing leads to another, and voila, I'm talking about confidence and emotional intelligence, and here we are. So the quote that I'm gonna start with today is a quote by Dr. Nicole Palera. Yes. And she said, "You can't be confident in the world if you're constantly breaking agreements with yourself." I'm going to say that again for those in the back. Welcome to A Glimpse of Growth, you guys. I go live on all the areas on Wednesday, either with a guest or with myself when I have a topic that I want to talk about that's on my soul. And today we're talking about confident people keeping promises to themselves first. And we're looking at this through the eyes of emotional intelligence, right? So I just said the quote from Dr. Nicole Palera. "You can't be confident in the world if you're constantly breaking agreements with yourself." She said it, you guys. And I believe it. My personal experiences, that's what it is. And then let's talk, there's other people that agree with her as well. Our very own Oprah Winfrey said, "It is confidence in our bodies, in our minds and spirit that allow us to keep looking for new adventures." If you don't have confidence in your mind, in your body, in your soul, in your spirit, how are you going to be looking for new adventures? Why? Where? How? Would you? You're not going to be confident enough to even think about that. Want that. You got to have a little bit of confidence in yourself for that. And then there's another quote here by Paulo Coelho that said, "When you say yes to others, make sure you're not saying no to yourself." When you say yes to others, make sure you're not saying no to yourself. I know that's a struggle. I know. I'm there with you guys. So even though, yeah, you can help folks, but you got to make sure that you're not sacrificing you for that, whatever it is you decide to do, right? You got to make sure. So when we talk about confidence through the lens of emotional intelligence, it's not about how you carry yourself. Not so much. It's about how deeply I think that you honor yourself. emotionally intelligent people, EQ people, understand that self-trust is the foundation of all trust. If you don't have trust in yourself, the other little trust that you have in other people, it's on a shaky bridge, because you got to be sure in yourself. That means that the promises that you make to yourself matter more than that position, than the applause, than maybe even that paycheck. You got to have some, what did my mom always say, some dignity, some values, some morals. Because if you don't have them, then you're going to fall for anything, right? So you say, why? Why, Dr. Dale? Why? Because every time you break a promise to yourself, even silently, your confidence takes a hit. And we're not talking theory here. Let's talk about this in practical reality form. For example, when you decide to break a promise to yourself, for example, the beginning of the year, you said you're going to work out. You said you're going to start working out. That was in January. We are in August. Are you still working out? No shade here. You guys know here that on A Glimpse of Growth, we talk about you don't have to grow a whole lot. I mean, you can. I just need you to grow just a little bit. Just be curious in just a little bit, right? So here on A Glimpse of Growth, we challenge you, we dare you sometimes to grow. Push yourself beyond what you normally do for your goals, for your family, right? For what you want to do, for where you see yourself futuristically. But it has to start somewhere. Why not with you? Why not with you? Tell me, why not with you? So this conversation today, confident people keep promises to themselves first, and we're looking at it through the eyes of emotional intelligence. When you break a promise to yourself, even silently, maybe promise that you haven't told anybody, right? You haven't told anybody about it. You just kept it to yourself and said, this is what you're going to do. I'm going to save up $50 every paycheck, or every $500 every paycheck, and I'll put it away in savings for that vacation I want to do at the end of the year. Maybe you didn't tell nobody about it, but you didn't tell yourself. Did you forget that yourself is also somebody? Yourself is somebody. And you need to start keeping promises to yourself. And that's what this conversation is about. Just a reminder, just another challenge for you. Because your confidence does take a hit. And every time you follow through or not, whether it's showing up for that morning walk, or you're setting a new boundary, or you are hitting publish on that new idea, or you decide to do that project at work and give it your all because you want that promotion, or you decide you wanted to start your own thing, or you decided that you actually want to be a father to that child, or you decided that you do want to get married because you said you would, and you said that that's something that you really want. Whatever it is, I don't know what it is, whatever it is. You said you want to graduate high school. You say you want to graduate and have a degree. You build unshakable internal credibility with yourself. That's the soil. That's where confidence grows. So let me ask you a question. Here on A Glimpse of Growth, we challenge you. We challenge each other because we want each other to be better, right? that better version of you, that best version of you. And that happens only if you are just giving yourself a glimpse, just a little glimpse of growth every day, right? So do you treat your commitment to yourself with the same urgency and respect you give others? I'm just asking. You said to your friend that you were going to show up to that birthday party, that birthday weekend party, but you told yourself 3 months ago that you were going to save money so that way you can put it into that trust fund, so you can actually have more savings in your bank. I don't know what it is. What promises are you keeping to yourself and that you're breaking? You cannot have confidence. We already said the quotes from Oprah, from Dr. Nicole. There's no way you can have confidence in yourself if you keep breaking the promises to yourself day after day after day, time after time after time. We're in August. My question to you, another question for you: how many promises have you broken to yourself since this year? We're 8 months in. How many promises have you broken to yourself? I'll tell you right now, I said that I would finish doing my courses on leadership development. I started it earlier this year, and to be honest with you, I got halfway through and I felt so good about it that I felt like I was done, but I'm not. I'm not. I got more than halfway through. I'm 80%. And I know this about me, right? I know that when I get to words, I get to like, I'm almost done. Like I'm 80% there. I can see the light at the end of the tunnel. I said, okay, so I'm gonna just coast. That's what I do. I did it with my doctorate. And, friends that are close to me know that I was calling them and I was talking to the husband and I was like, do I need to finish this? I know it's hard, you guys, because you are doing something you've never done. You're doing something you've never done. So naturally, it's going to be some friction, right? It's going to be a little hard, right? So you got to decide. So there's 3 points that I want to make as it relates to this conversation. So the first point that I want to make as it relates to this conversation is confidence is rooted in self-trust. Confident people trust themselves because they keep their own word. Keeping the word to yourself. Forget about keeping promises to somebody else. If you're going to sacrifice yourself to keep the promise to somebody else, then my friend, there's some work for you to do, right? There's some work for you to do, right? And you can change the plans. You're like, okay, I said I was going to finish this within 3 months. It looks like it's going to take me a little bit more. Then you are updating the contract that you said to yourself, right? But ignoring it, not doing it, pretending you didn't say it, because nobody's there to hold you accountable. Not good, my friend. Not good. When you repeatedly abandon yourself, you cancel your plans, you delay your goals, you ignore your needs, and you are eroding the trust with yourself. But when you say, I will, and then you do, even in those small ways, your nervous system, there's something that happens. It starts to feel it. You start to feel safe. You start to feel grounded. You feel accomplished. You feel strong. You're like, man, I did that. After it's done, you love it, right? You love the fact that you stuck to your guns and you accomplished that goal, and you said you're going to leave that job for another one, higher paying, more benefits, closer to home. You did it. You didn't get complacent and comfortable in a job that you're in right now. Just an example, you guys, just an example, right? Because this is what happens as well. There's something in emotional intelligence that's called cognitive dissonance, right? And I forgot the definition, but let me see if I can find it here and share it with you guys. Cognitive dissonance is the psychological discomfort experience when holding conflict between your beliefs, your values, and your behaviors. What does that mean? Meaning that you say, I believe that you believe that you should always tell the truth. You believe that. You believe that people should always tell the truth. You believe that you should always tell the truth. But yet you are here lying. You out here lying to every single person, every single day, every chance you get. That's cognitive dissonance. You believe one thing, but you do another. So that means that you're not aligning with your internal, right? All right. I don't want to get too technical here on you guys because I can geek out on this stuff all day. Right? But your insides are not aligned, right? So it's off because you're not being true to yourself, right? So what's one promise? With that one point, confidence is rooted in self-trust. My question to you guys, the homework for you guys is, what's one promise you made to yourself lately that you didn't keep, that you want to keep? And maybe this is a chance for you to recommit. Maybe this is a chance for you to recommit. Okay. So that's point number one. Point number two is boundaries. That's a word. I mean, we talk about boundaries on here all the time. All the time. Boundaries, you guys. Boundaries are sacred contracts with yourself. Confidence grows when you enforce boundaries, not just with others, but with yourself. In the short term, it may feel good for you to do that particular thing, but you know that later on you're gonna regret it. So you do it anyway because, oh, I'm not gonna suffer the consequences to that now. I'll suffer the consequences for that later. So I'm gonna do it anyway. Confidence grows when you enforce the boundaries on yourself, not only on other people, right? Because we already said what you say yes to. You say yes to someone for something. That means you're saying no to yourself for something else. So what is that you're saying no to for yourself? That means that not answering the late night emails. Those of you out there. That means not scrolling past your bedtime. That means not skipping that walk that you said you want to do for a couple of days during the week. That means maybe picking up a fruit every now and then. Oh my God. I'm saying this because I know this. These are things that I said to myself. So I made a promise to myself. I said, August 1, I have a healthy physical routine, but it can be improved. I should say I have a healthy, comfortable physical routine. And I said that I wanted to ramp it up. I've been saying it for years. So now at this age, at this point in my time, I decided I'm going to do it. And I adopted the help. Remember I said you needed to have a coach or somebody that can hold you accountable? That's what I did. Right? The boundaries are sacred contracts with yourself. So my friend, I said, you were pretty good in this. Can you help me do this? And she's like, and by golly, do I like it? No, but I'm getting used to it, right? One foot in front of the other, one decision at a time. And I'm using myself as an example because to let you see that you can't be out here practicing something you were preaching something you ain't practicing. But it's hard, right? Nobody said it's gonna be easy, right? I wish it was, but it's not, right? Boundaries are sacred contracts with yourself. Boundaries are selfish. They're not selfish. They're self-honoring. You are honoring yourself. So that you need to say no to that person so that you can say yes to yourself. So setting boundaries, real time. I matter more. I matter enough to pause. I matter enough to keep that promise that I said I was going to do them, right? And I matter enough that I'm going to put a plan in place and stick to my guns. Because I know 3 months from now, I'm going to love it. I'm going to love it. Love it. Love it. Right? And so here's the third point I wanted to make on here. The third point is micro promises build macro confidence. Yes, it does. You don't need to overhaul your entire life, my friend. Start with the small wins. If you need to get up every day to work out, maybe you need to get out an hour, 30 minutes earlier, maybe start small. Maybe start, I'm going to do 10 minutes. 10 minutes of stretching. That's small, right? I'm going to do 5 minutes. 5 minutes of meditation every morning. You don't have to go straight to the, hour, whatnot. Start small. Because you can get those quick wins. Man, I showed up today. Right? Example. I'm going to drink more water. Some people don't like drinking water. People put, but they have, of course, you have those flavors that you can put in the water to make to make the water have some type of flavor. Each promises that you keep to yourself equals one brick in the foundation of your self-belief. So confidence is built, not born. It's a daily practice. It's not dramatic. It's not showy. It's you putting one decision in front of the other. You decide today that I am going to show up, whatever that looks like, right? I'm going to give it my all. And it may not look pretty. It may not look pretty, but you have to start somewhere, right? And I said earlier, why not with you? Why not start with you? Right? So start. We're in August. Don't give up or feel like don't feel like you shouldn't do it anymore because we're in August and you missed more than half the year. It don't matter. The point is that you start, because that is the hardest part. This third point, micro promises build macro confidence. Micro promises, small. I decided to do that workout 10 minutes. I did it 10 minutes and I am mad proud of myself. And then next week now you can okay, I'm gonna add, it's gonna be 15 minutes. And then the following week, it's gonna be 20 minutes. So you keep adding after you just start small, right? So that way you don't feel overwhelmed. And then there's also from the book Habit Stacking. Just put it into whatever activity you want to do. Add it into something that you already know that you're going to be doing, right? Sometimes in the morning when I'm brushing my teeth, I stretch, right? I'm stretching. I'm stretching, right? Because I'm already going to brush my teeth and stand still. So I don't just stand still. Sometimes I stretch, or sometimes I have my affirmations and stuff in front of me and I just recite them or, visualize them and whatnot. So you can kill a couple of birds with one stone, but not really kill the birds. You know what I mean? So decide for yourself today, where is it that you're not keeping your promises? And then start keeping one. I'm not asking for that. Remember, just a glimpse of growth. That's one commitment that you can keep to yourself and start honoring yourself and your well-being, right? Because you don't want that cognitive dissonance. You don't want that throwing off. And then I guarantee the person that you're going to become on the other side of that, you're going to want more of it. You're going to want more of it. That's why there's not a lot of people out here showing up as their best self, because their best self is going to require some healing, some work. You're going to start holding people accountable. You're going to have to start doing some boundary setting. You're going to actually start having to live up to the words that you said to yourself. My mom always says, if all you have is your word. If you can't keep your word, then what are we doing, people? What are we doing? So I encourage you to start that goal, start that list, get in a better relationship with yourself, because confident people keep promises to themselves. Yes, they do, my friend. Yes, they do. And you are no less, right? And I'll end with this quote. The most powerful person in the room is the one who keeps promises to themselves. You're sure of yourself, right? You are sure of yourself. And maybe I'll do this. There's a part 2 of this that I'm gonna do and kind of share a list of maybe 7 things that confident people do or don't do. Yeah, I think that's what I'll do next week. So tune back in next week. Thank you for being here. A Glimpse of Growth with Dr. Dale. My leadership courses on emotional intelligence are done and they're out there. So go visit dalereports.com, you guys. Visit the website. Join my email list. Subscribe to my YouTube so you can get more of this conversation, Dr. Dale Reports. And we can keep this conversation going. Somebody told me the other day, they said, I think you're an influencer. I was like, no, I'm a business owner. I don't think I'm an influencer. That's what they said to me. And I was in there. I'm like, why do you say that? They're like, oh, because you shouted me out on your podcast, my podcast, this, and some people came to my site and visited and they bought and da 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 da. And I was like, really? And I'm like, I heard a couple of other people said that, but they never said that I was an influencer. And I thought it was interesting. And then I went and I looked it up and I'm like, what is an influencer? I mean, I heard it before, but I think I had an idea, but I had to go look it up because you guys know me. I gotta make sure I know these definitions and understand them. So an influencer is an individual who has built a significant online presence and is able to persuade or influence the opinions, behaviors, or purchasing decisions of their audience, often through social media. And I said to myself that I guess I'm an influencer. I guess I'm an influencer. So there you go, you guys. There you go. You are by showing up every day and doing your passion, because I do believe that the world can be a better place with emotional intelligence. People can have better relationships. People can be a better version of themselves. Parents can have more an effective relationship with their children. I believe that workplaces can be happier when emotional intelligence is embedded into the learning management system, into their training program. I do believe that people with emotional intelligence, they see you as the person, the human first, and then anything else that come after. Then they see the title, then they see everything else, right? But it's treating the person that's in front of you, with your best, at your best. You're giving them your best. And when that's not there, what are you doing, right? Because again, confident people keep promises to themselves first. And we looked at this through the eyes of EQ and how important it is for you to show up as your best self. Because that's why I believe and so gun-ho per se with emotional intelligence, because I believe that if people had more of it, the world will be just a little bit better, a lot better, I should say, a lot better, right? People would be kinder. People would be, be more empathetic. They'll be more self-aware. They would have social skills, right? And not, jumping down somebody's throat because they made a mistake. Like, people would actually be a little bit more human, right? And that's why I love it, because I know for sure that in my relationships have improved, and thousands and thousands of other people, and the research that's behind EQ and all the things is why I am for it, right? Research backs it up. There are people that I know that is using it and it works for them, and people, workplaces, like everywhere that there's a human being with red blood. Emotional intelligence can help you, which is why I am all for it. So again, visit my website, subscribe. Thank you guys for being here. I love this conversation. I'll do part 2 next week and kind of talk about what are some things that emotionally intelligent folks do not do. They do not do it, right? Emotionally intelligent folks do not do through the eyes of confidence, through the eyes of emotional intelligence with confidence, right? So again, thank you guys for being here. Thank you for your time. Thank you for the support and the views and the comments. I am getting all of them, and I appreciate you guys so very much again. And I just can't wait for another conversation. You guys know I can do this all day, every day. But then remember, boundaries. If I say yes to you, that means I'm saying no to me, right? And we don't want to do that, right? We want to make sure we have a healthy balance. So I'll see you guys next week. Thank you guys for being here with me and having this conversation. Another glimpse of growth with Dr. Dale. Thank you for being here and supporting this channel. If you enjoyed this episode and this content, it would mean a lot to me if you would take a few seconds to ensure you are subscribed to A Glimpse of Growth with Dr. Dale. Click the notification bell to receive notification. Share it with someone you think may need it. And let's continue to become more intelligent with our emotions. Thank you. See you later.